550 KTRS. Jane Duker is here. Jay Kanzler, House Majority Leader, soon to be Speaker of the House, John Deal. Jane, what are your thoughts on this NFL stuff?
Well, I mean, when you're in a hole, stop digging, and they just won't stop digging. I mean, the NFL, I mean, I'm very proud of Anheuser-Busch. I thought that they exercised incredible corporate leadership, corporate responsibility. They get it. They said, you know, fix it, NFL. You know, we don't like the way this is going. They were very clear about it. Fix it. And that's what needs to happen. And it's a shame. I mean, you know, we're just talking. Goodell makes $44 million a year. For that kind of money, get your head up and start figuring out. If you have to have sponsors come out and tell you that it's not working, then you need to get it together. Now, this independent investigation, former FBI guy, frankly, I mean, I think it's kind of a stall tactic, which I think is a shame. I don't know how much more you have to investigate. I'm heartened by that they've hired some women to look at the domestic violence policies. But this doesn't need to take, you know, months and months and months and get through the football season before we actually have a report as to how this was botched. It's not, I don't think it's rocket science. Get the policy in place, zero tolerance, end of story.
Well, the thing about it is that at some point on Monday or Tuesday, it was acceptable to beat your child and play in the NFL, but it wasn't acceptable to beat your wife.
Right.
So that was the policy, was you can beat your child, but you can't beat your wife.
It's mind-numbing to me that, you know, you sort of wouldn't look at this and say, you know what, it's just not right. I mean, it's some common sense. This is not right, and we are going to say no. And I don't understand how difficult this could be. I mean, we had, like, again, I compare it to the NBA. When the Sterling comments came out, you know, the commissioner brought the hammer down, and within I think, given the size of the transaction, in lightning speed, had that team out of that guy's hands. So don't tell me they can't react and that was just comments that were made. This was, you know, a woman getting cold-cocked in an elevator on video.
And a child with welts all over his body.
Right, bleeding. Yeah. Right. So, you know, I am very proud of Anheuser-Busch. I think Pepsi has sort of stepped up and said, get it fixed. CoverGirl, not done so well. The women are not, and rightfully not.
Which I find interesting.
Which I find fascinating, that they CoverGirl, you know, a female product, you know, it's part of Procter & Gamble. That may be part of the problem. But, you know, a real opportunity to step up for women and really make a difference and do something quickly, and they just really haven't. And I'm very surprised by that. But I am very proud of Anheuser-Busch. I'm proud of our, you know, St. Louis company.
Jane's going to yield back the portion of her time to John Deal, who's recognized.
Yeah, the issue the NFL has here is they're trying to turn a ship when they've really had years and years and years of turning their head the other way on these types of issues. You know, we've had violence and abuse and, you know, murder charges and everything else brought against NFL players over time, and it seems like the NFL in its silence has kind of somewhat condoned and set an acceptable thug culture mentality as part of its overall image. And now when it's gone too far, they're trying to, at first, their first reaction is do what they've done on everything else, and that is put your head in the sand and pretend like it doesn't exist. And very rarely in crisis control does that work. And so what, you know, Goodell's problem is, and I think it's going to probably be pretty hard for him to survive this, is going to be, how do you turn around something where you've turned the other way? And you know, look at players that get drafted out of college in the NFL. These teams know everything there is about every single player.
Right.
They go interview neighbors, they interview coaches, they interview people in the dorm room. So they know the propensities. And a business decision was made to say, we're going to look past this stuff because this person can run a 4.3.
Well, that's why the secondary running back from Arizona doesn't get a chance, and Adrian Peterson gets back on the team.
Right.
Because Adrian Peterson's really good
this week.
No, I understand that.
Well, he's on a special list, actually.
Right.
He's still getting paid, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yeah. He actually is still getting paid. But the Arizona running back that came out today that I guess really, I mean, beat his girlfriend bad and the kid bad, and then, I mean, it sounds like, allegedly, it was very brutal. He's not going to get any type of, because he's not that good of a running back. Right. Jay.
You know, at the risk of losing my access to the secret Republican meetings, I'm going to applaud Senator McCaskill for coming out and talking about where some of this mentality, some of this culture starts, and that is at the college level.
Right.
When Oklahoma said, you know what, it's okay, RGB. Right, that's right.
Dorial Greenback.
I'm sorry, yeah,
DGB.
DGB. It's okay that you had all this problem. You had a pound of marijuana in your car. You got kicked out of Mizzou. You threatened, you interfered with an investigation, all allegedly. But we're going to go ahead and give you a shot down here at Oklahoma. This doesn't start at the NFL level. These kind of actions are, if you will, bred in a culture at the college level where it's more important to win on Saturday afternoon than it seems, to instill values and sportsmanship and all the kind of character traits that we wish were being instilled in colleges. And that then transfers right up the line to the NFL.
And I want to make a point that DGB thing actually is very symbolic of what is wrong.
Yep.
He was kicked off, so Pinkel did the right thing, kicked him off the team.
Amen for him.
And so Oklahoma then comes in and says, not only are we going to give you a second chance, because people probably do deserve second chances, especially young people, but they said, no, we're going to not only give you a chance, but we're going to help file appeal paperwork to help you
with the NCAA to do it quickly.
To help you get around the process,
you don't have to sit around.
What Mizzou did was wrong and unjustified.
Right, but now Oklahoma's saying, well, if we knew all this Ray Rice stuff and Adrian Peterson stuff come out, we wouldn't have taken them.
Right. Okay. So again, you need a video.
Right.
I mean, that's I mean,
trust me, Oklahoma's never been known for its high level of ethics in recruiting and.
Well, I'm glad the NCAA said no to that, because he was going to, he has to wait the year, and so now he'll either go to the NFL, which I think might be challenging at this point. It better be, or he has to sit the year.
Well, you bring up a good point, because what happens the next time an NFL player takes and beats a girl or does something inappropriate? You have to think that this is so big, so white hot, that this has to get to these players and says, we can't be doing this anymore. But there's a larger issue, too, not just beatings. But you know what? It's the 6 kids with the 4 different women. It's the, 16 marriages and the this and the that, right? I mean, what's the Cromartie, the defensive back for whoever he's playing for? He's got like 9 kids with 9 different wives. I mean, it's just, just inappropriate.
This isn't new, though. Well, I mean, anybody remember the movie North Dallas 40? This culture of drinking and partying, and the rules don't apply to us. And because you are big and you're strong and you're fast and you can throw the ball, and we're going to look the other way. And
it's true.
I think what's going to be really interesting is you saw this in baseball a little bit with the steroid and with the steroid scandals that happened. Some of the players who were clean,
right?
Okay, who did it the right way, started becoming a lot more vocal and said, "We're not."
They felt
putting
empowered.
up with this stuff. So it'll be really curious now to see whether or not the character guys in the NFL, because they're probably, if you look on any NFL roster, probably 80% of them are good character guys. And are they going to now stand up and say, "Wait a minute, this is my profession, this is my livelihood, this stuff is unacceptable"? And we need to also police this from within, and this is a no longer
right, because the players' union coming to defend Ray Rice doesn't look good for the players' union.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, and Chris Carter, that impassioned speech that he gave on TV, saying
brilliant.
It was brilliant, and that's what you're talking about, is the character within the profession saying, there's just no way this is okay.
I want to say something about Roger Goodell. I do not know, but he seems like a good man. Everyone who meets him says he's a good man. I have no doubt he's a good man. Right. But can we stop lauding him as one of the greatest commissioners in the history the game's ever seen? And revenues have raised billions of dollars since he's taken over. He's selling football. How hard is it to raise revenues in football where you've had a media explosion? Even I could do that. So I don't really see how he has been so brilliant. Take indoor football and start giving billions of dollars, right? Fix hockey, right? Take hockey and all of a sudden bring in billions of dollars for hockey. That's the guy I want to hire, not the guy who's
lacrosse.
Lacrosse, right? Take lacrosse,
soccer.
right? Soccer, right? Take the guy's soccer and sort of fix that. So
WNBA.
He gets paid really well. I mean, $44 million is not.
But he inherited the NFL,
right?
In 2004, whenever it was. I mean, it was a pretty good machine when he took it over.
I have a feeling though that if he sort of doesn't fix this, I doubt that kind of discussion's going to continue.
950 KTRS.